Money in the Bank. What the hell just happened? We saw some insane matches. We saw some insane surprises. One of which I'm going to have to kind of walk back some of the stuff I said in my last video. But Money in the Bank. Let's talk about it. Holy moly. We had phenomenal set of matches when it came to either one of the Money in the Bank matches. I mean, personally, me, for the last few years, I felt like the women definitely kind of killed it when it came to the Money in the Bank more. And this is no disrespect against the men at all. It just always seemed like they just had crazier spots. This year, I kind of feel like it's been an even twist on both of them. I mean, we had really star-stacked Money in the Bank matches. And I personally, like, I had my picks, and obviously for both of them, my backup pick for the women's was the one that won, and then for the men's, my men's pick won. So let's start it off with the women's Money in the Bank. The women's Money in the Bank opened the whole show out. We had a very stacked card here. We had newcomer Julia. We had Proceed with Caution Naomi. Absolutely love her gimmick right now. Absolutely love it. Obvious favorite in almost any situation. Mommy, Rhea Ripley. The newcomer, Roxanne Perez, who also has been a very big breakout star and kind of one I've been keeping my eye on. She is phenomenal. Definitely gives like that, like, I'm here to prove that I am the best and I'm willing to do whatever I got to do. Also, real quick, shout out to her for having to deal with this insane situation. I'm not really going to talk about it right here in this video, but if you know, you know. Probably make another video about it later on. But yeah, like, star, trooper, she knows what she's doing. You know, shout out to her. The returning Alexa Bliss. Man, it's so good to see Bliss back in the ring. And it's so good to see her doing what she's always good at. And that's just being her. And then finally, rounding it out, La Primera, Stephanie Valkyr. She has captured me. She has captured me, you know. And I adore how crazy her moveset is. Like, if you haven't watched a match with her, go watch a match with her. Phenomenal. But let's just talk. We had a lot of bumps. We had a lot of crazy spots. We had a lot of weird moments where, like, Roxanne and Julia were teaming up with each other. So don't want to go in too much of a full breakdown about it. I mean, I would definitely suggest watching the video. Definitely go on, and if you have it, jump on Peacock and definitely take a look at it. But man, the back and forth that these women were putting on was just too good. The match itself just always had a spot. On and on. Now, granted, we saw some close calls. We saw some moments that were a little shaky. But, I mean, you know, it's okay to get a little bit jitters. It's okay to, for me personally, it's okay to kind of have like a moment where maybe it didn't go the way it was supposed to go. Things happened, you know, not everything. We had like a weird spot with Julia and Roxanne where, like, they had Rhea kind of like slid into the ladder and they were trying to like sandwich her in the ladder immediately, and it looked like the ladder kind of was malfunctioning and it wasn't doing it. I mean, that's not their fault, but I give them credit for being able to like adapt on the go, because if that didn't work out, they ended up slamming a couple ladders on top of her. Then they eventually kind of buried her outside of the ring to try to take Mommy out of the equation. Obviously, she was the big strong woman in this match, and the one that probably a lot of people had their eye on the most, thinking that she was probably going to win it. We have the dark horse Naomi, you know, with this whole new Proceed with Caution gimmick, and it's blowing out of the water. It is great. I love the psychotic, crazy, I am here to just cut everybody, literally, because she was wearing razor blades in her hair at one point, cut people up and take what I gotta take, and she is all about that. She is taking what she wants, and I love it. I love it. She has some really good spots too. Man, I feel like everybody in this match, whether new or old, or well, I don't want to say old, but you know, new or like veteran on the roster, they did their jobs. They did the work. They put it in. They made it entertaining. I loved it. We had a really, really cool spot where Rhea actually finally got back up, and Stephanie was able to actually kind of get her in a devil's kiss, but it wasn't just the normal ah. She had her pulled up on top of one of the ladders, and we got a ah. I know Booker T was probably losing his mind somewhere. Onto the ladder, and it looked great. It looked great. And then we also had a double code red moment. Well, I think for Roxanne Perez, technically it's called Pop Rocks, because I think that's her finisher. But we had a double code red moment, which was really, really cool, featuring Bliss and Perez nailing their opponents right onto the ladders. Absolutely brutal. At one point, it kind of felt like any one of the girls could take it. You know, we were wondering, like, is it going to be Stephanie's first big win with the company on the main roster with Money in the Bank? Is Bliss about to be another, it's about to go another year with Bliss as the Money in the Bank winner? Is Perez going to come from behind and the rookie between her and Julia? No, it came out to Naomi. Naomi played her part. She played her spots. And damn it, she won, and it was the chef's kiss. Champions proceed with caution. Loved it. The next match was a complete impromptu match that happened because of a situation at the AAA Worlds Collide moment that they had, not moment, but like premiere that they had on YouTube earlier, where you had Octagon Jr. versus Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio challenged him to the match, and Dominic voluntarily put his title on the line, and it was such a great back and forth. First off, I also want to point out Octagon's pants were so shimmering, it was very distracting. Sir, I need you to do something about that. It was very distracting. I was watching with a group of my friends, and we were all having fun, kind of being like, man, this guy is shimmering. Man, listen, you cannot take the spotlight from Dominic Mysterio with your shimmering pants. What are you doing here? Come on. Don't you dare stare some spotlight from Dirty Dom. We love Dirty Dom here on this channel. I've heavily grown into a Dirty Dom fan. I love it. But I don't want to say that there wasn't nothing super special about this match, because I mean it was a good match. Good defense for Dom. Got a couple spots here, back and forth. Octagon Jr., I don't really know too much about him personally, but definitely was a really good showcase of a first-time match for him, for me personally. So definitely was really, really cool. We saw some spots where Dom tried to hit him with the 619, missed him. Then eventually, he was able to kind of set him up again, roundabout, get him again, thanks to some distractions from Liv Morgan. We obviously knew that she was going to be, because she was down there, she was obviously going to get involved. There's no way she wasn't going to. But really good back and forth with Dominic Mysterio coming out on top with another title defense victory. Good on Dom. This is the summer of Dirty Dom. We getting dirty this summer. That sounds terrible, and I'm just going to leave it in there. Let's move on to the next one. The next was another Intercontinental title match featuring Lyra Valkyria, the champion, against Becky Lynch. Now, putting all bias aside, everybody knows I love Becky. Everyone knows that she's a very, very, very special person to me. She did a great service for me and my son, where she was able to actually get us to go to WrestleMania. We thank her again. Love you, Becky. Appreciate you. Love you, heel run too, by the way. I mean, heel or face or tweener or whatever you want to call it. She's always been one of my favorites, and she will still be one of my favorites. But I'm going to have to put that aside and have to critique this a little bit meaner. Lyra actually is one of my favorites as far as the women's division. Really, really, really loved when she won the IC title, became the inaugural Intercontinental Women's Champion. The only gripe I have with this match really was just how bad the back and forth was. And by that, I mean there was none. Lyra dominated Becky in this match. Lyra was throwing her left and right, side to side, all around the ring, hitting her from the top rope, hitting big spots, big power moves. Crazy. just to have Becky consistently kick out. Now, granted, I get it. I mean, Becky's the heel, Lyra's the face. Lyra's got a little bit of that fire in her right now, trying to prove a point. She's got the veteran that's been talking down to her for the last few weeks. Get it. Completely understand it. I just wish the back and forth thing was better compared to their last match. In their last match, Lyra and Becky it was a definitely clean back and forth. You had the veteran showing the rookie, how it's done. You had the rookie showing the veteran that they're not going to be walked on. And it was a really, really good setup back and forth. This one just felt like it was just not really there. It wasn't really till the end of the match that we saw Becky actually really rallying with obviously the heel tactics, pushing, Lyra into the ring post, slapping her shoulders on there. And at one point we see Lyra kind of looks like she got a little cut on her shoulder. It was, okay. Not my favorite match of the night, unfortunately. I mean, I love both of these superstars, but I'm going to say that this one was definitely not my favorite. I kind of wished we got a little more back and forth. But again, the story is continuing on. It's not over. Obviously, we're going to see some more between these two very, very soon. But I did say that I loved the ending presentation. After Becky rolled her up, did the heel thing, grabbed them tights, and, Lyra lost her title. My co-host on the channel was actually very overjoyed by it because Chelsea Green lost her title, so he felt that it was time for Lyra to lose her title. I don't agree with that mentality, but that's just me. But I wasn't opposed to Becky also winning the belt. I think that it's a good opportunity for Lyra to kind of get not repackaged, but also kind of like pull her back a little bit. I felt like as far as her reign, and this is nothing against Lyra at all. I think Lyra in every match that she's been put in has been absolutely great. I have not had one Lyra match that I really disliked watching. I felt the booking for her as champion was just not fully there. They didn't really set up any real feuds with her until Becky. Because it kind of just seemed like they kind of just threw her in championship matches on Raw just by announcing it the night of. And I feel like that you don't do that with a champion. You got to give them some prestige, give them some story. Now, mind you, I'm probably babbling and just being a stupid wrestling nerd. But like I said, for me personally, I felt like Lyra should have definitely been booked a little bit better. So, personally me, like I said, wasn't my favorite match of the night, but I did like the ending presentation where Lyra was a woman of her word, where she held Becky's arm up, but Becky, obviously being the heel, wanted to make her do it multiple times. Says, nope, you're going to hold my arm up again. Nope, you're going to do it again. Then she made her try to strap the belt around her waist, and that didn't end the way Becky thought it was going to, because she ended up getting a nasty little surprise at the end with Lyra squashing her down. And yeah, we're definitely going to see this feud continue. But congratulations to Becky for making history now and being the second woman to hold that title, and with already all her accolades. It's just another notch in the book there for her. And I'm not obviously you can see the book behind me right there. There's the book. Her book is right there from the signing. So I do love Becky. Thanks again for that. We got the men's ladder match. Now this one kind of surprised me. Because I was like, something must be happening later tonight for the men's spot to be pushed to the third match instead of the main event. So, definitely was one of those, are we getting to cash in? But, we'll get to that later. So this match featured Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Cero Miedo, Penta, Solo Sikoa, Andrade, and Chad Gable. I'm sorry. El Grande Americano. Chad Gable, excuse me. Sorry, there's something in my throat, man. Chad Gable. Anyway, match was crazy. Talk about putting it all out there. All 6 of these men laid their bodies on the line in the biggest way. There were a lot of very scary spots. from a one spot where I think it was Andrade had El Grande, and he ended up doing one of those back body drops off the top of the ladder, and almost looked like if they did not plan that right, we were going to see El Grande's brains splattered everywhere because there was a ladder right there. Yeah, it was just it was some brutality, man. Some heavy brutality all around. Solo Sikoa tried to, at one point, like in the beginning of the match, you saw all the faces kind of like start ganging up on one heel after another. So at first, like you saw Rollins was kind of enveloped around. Then they kicked Rollins out. Then Solo tried to, at one point, rally the troops on his side, and he kicked him out. And then they eventually get kicked out El Grande. So, and then obviously everyone just went at it. So I mean, it was this match was exactly what it needed to be. It was brutal. It was hard hitting. It was fun. And I say this when it comes to any of the Money in the Bank matches. They're always fun matches to watch. I feel like there are not really too many of them that are really bad Money in the Bank matches. These ladder matches are brutal. These guys really put it out there. And, you know, again, kudos to all of them. I was really, really hoping, obviously, for LA Knight to possibly get the win on this one. But my original pick is still Seth Rollins. And just spoiler alert, Seth Rollins is the one who wins. How he won is just where it all went down. Don't want to spend too much time on like just gushing over the brutality because obviously this was very, very brutal. But the match was booked in a great way. Everybody got spots. From Andrade taking a Mexican destroyer from Penta on top of a ladder, which looked oh so brutal. Oh so brutal. To El Grande coming up and, you know, sneakily looking like he was going to take over. I'm going to be doing a video actually on him very soon, so definitely take a look out for that because that's going to be fun. Solo obviously trying to do his best to stand on his own. The former pseudo tribal chief, we're calling that. He was not my tribal chief. Roman is. But definitely stood on his own, though, for a while. You definitely saw that he's definitely a very established character. And I got to give a shout out to him, man. Solo just plays his character so damn well. You know, the bad guy persona that he does with the laughing gimmick and, like, you know, the kind of like the unhinged mob boss. It's so good. He's so good at what he does. Solo is definitely great at playing his character, and I'm going to give him all the flowers for that. It's so good. LA Knight looked like he had it multiple times. But unfortunately, obviously, it didn't take long, you know, for shenanigans to eventually kind of take over. Seth Rollins ends up calling his crew in, who just absolutely decimates everybody around that. Braun Breaker and it's funny because Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. So Braun and Braun. But anyway, both these guys came in, and I don't even have they don't even have a name for this stable yet, which is crazy. But talk about. They were killing everybody. That's the best way I could put it. They were killing everybody. People were being put through barricades and ladders and smashing each other with the, you know, whatever they could find and just slamming each other into each other. It was brutality everywhere around. And at one point, then we got Solo's crew to come out. You know, we saw JC Mateo come out alongside the enormous pop for Jacob Fatu. Talk about being over with the crowds. Like, talk about being over with the crowds. It is absolutely insane. Come on, man. Like, I don't know anybody that doesn't hit when as soon as he comes out, you don't hit him with the Fatu. You gotta hit him with it. Yeah, my son literally does it all the time. But the back and forth thing with the two crews now fighting each other to save their boss, and at one point we did see Jacob kind of like be the one to take over. I'm really wondering what they're going to do with JC Mateo at this point. I don't feel like he's impressing me enough to tell me that he's like a threat. And it's sad to say that, but I mean, I get it. He's still very, very new. I'm gonna reserve judgment really, but WWE, I gotta figure something out with Mateo. You know, you gotta figure something out, man. But we finally got the heartbreaking moment, guys. The heartbreaking moment finally hit. Jacob was helping Solo. He set up a ladder. Solo started going up. And then Fatu grabbed his leg. Stared at him. And it's funny because, like, again, this is another solo acting thing. He's trying to go up. He thinks he's still going up the ladder, and his foot's getting stuck. He's like, oh, what's wrong with my foot? What's wrong with my foot? And we got the moment, guys. It happened. It finally happened. Jacob uttered the 3 most devastating words to Solo. I hate you. I hate you, Solo. So technically it's 4. I'm sorry. And then he betrays him. Pulls him off the ladder, beats him up, leaves him in the ring. It is going to be a great SummerSlam match with these two. It's going to be. Continuing on, though, with the carnage obviously being left all around, we see at one point, it looks like Seth Rollins and LA Knight are kind of going back and forth a little bit. Looks like LA almost had it, but then Seth was able to kind of counter it, leading to eventually Seth Rollins becoming Mr. Money in the Bank for the second time in his career. What this is going to lead to, I don't know. I'm assuming he's going for the world title. So Jey Uso, be careful, my friend. Before we get to the final match, I'll mention one more thing. The advertising in these shows are absolutely crazy. The ladder that they ended up using, not once, but twice, because one got broken and there was another one that they used then the second time. It was a fireball-themed ladder. The whiskey fireball ladder. And all around the ring, there's just nothing but advertisers everywhere. Like, literally, the camera shots were so much into It felt like at one point the camera shots were too focused on heavily showing all the ads more than some of the superstars, in a sense. Because I felt like we saw some spots that we ended up missing that were probably way more important than, obviously, me seeing the prime advertisement on top of the turnbuckle, which also had a 7-Eleven advertisement on the following turnbuckle, which was weird. And I gotta say that as a fan, it is absolutely annoying to see all these ads everywhere. Like, I get it. You guys want to make money. You guys want to get all these advertisers to pay you and all that stuff. And I get throwing it on this stuff all helps that. But, oh my goodness. The fireball ladder, guys. Why do we need a fireball-themed ladder? That was absolutely insane. Like, come on. To do better with this, please. Like, I don't know what TKO is doing, but you guys got to do better with that. But then again, there's a lot of talk about probably some financial problems within TKO and they're trying to recover from. Kind of would make sense, but at the same time, like, ugh, cut it out. All right. Now we move on to the final match of the night, which was the World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso and the returning Cody Rhodes against the undisputed WWE Champion, the greatest of all time. What is it? Never seen 17. In his final appearance, John Cena and Logan Paul. It is no secret I am not a huge fan of Logan Paul. I don't like Logan Paul. I don't. And I don't think there's going to be anything in the world that will change my mind on that. But I will be willing to give him his flowers for this match. This match was a really good match as far as just being a regular tag match. There was no stipulations, no special, no titles on the line, blah, blah, none of that stuff. It was just a good match, back and forth, old-fashioned tag. I only have one gripe, really. Only one gripe with this match. And that is, I don't think our World Heavyweight Champion should have been getting beat up as much. Now, granted, I get they're probably going to use that as the storyline for him and Gunther on Monday when they have their rematch. But I'm not a fan of the fact that Jey Uso was getting so beat up and he was like the fall guy for a lot of it. I get it. Cody Rhodes just got back. Cody Rhodes is the biggest face in the company. Well, I don't know at this point. I don't know. Technically, I feel like Jey might be now. There's a really interesting dynamic if you look at it now where like a year ago, both of these two have swapped their positions. Cody Rhodes at that time was the undisputed WWE champion, was the most over guy in the company, and Jey Uso was obviously probably like the secondary most over guy in the company. Now, this year, Jey Uso is the most over guy in the company. Seeing all those yeets come around like crazy, like seeing the entire arena exploding with him, He even tried to do the run it back when he came into his from his entrance, but obviously was interrupted by Logan Paul because Logan Paul is Logan Paul. But this match I feel like didn't need Jey Uso taking as much damage as he did. Again, I get it. They're probably going to use it for the storyline, blah, blah, whatever. We'll see what happens on Monday. But that's kind of my only gripe. I mean, Cena and Paul did what they needed to do. They were heels, so they played the heel way. Eventually, Cody was very riled up a lot in this match. I mean, he definitely played the cheerleader tag team partner very, very well, from like jumping around the ring and stuff like that, like clapping his hands, trying to get his guy to get up. Eventually, you obviously see some rallies come out from Jey. Eventually, Cody does get the hot tag. And then Cody comes in and kind of starts cleaning house for a little bit. Then we also at one point see some like kind of like disagreements and some like dissension between John Cena and Logan Paul. Which, I mean, I get, two giant egos going at each other. I get it. So, there was this really cool spot that they did with the drone, which I thought was cool. Where Logan Paul climbs on top of the turnbuckle, grabs the drone, and it looks like he's obviously going to do his frog splash with the drone in hand. Cody ends up jumping up there, doing, I'm assuming it was a just a regular suplex off the top rope, so a super suplex. And it was just fun to see the drone fly with them. If you see it, go look it up. It's pretty cool. And then out of nowhere, you see Jey Uso splash him, so it kind of looks like he just killed Logan Paul, because it looked pretty brutal from the drone's perspective. And, it's just, they just can't keep them down. We got some table spots that happened as well, which was pretty cool too. But here's the kicker. A mysterious assailant appeared out of the crowd and attacks John Cena. The hooded figure, nobody has any idea who it is revealed to be R-Truth. R-Truth. I'm going to say it again. R-Truth. Now, I was expecting a cash-in, which, not a bad thing. But Ron Killings, R-Truth, returned to cost Cena the match. And eventually led Cody to being able to get back in the ring, hit him with a crossroads. 1, 2, 3, Cena has been pinned by Cody Rhodes, which I would assume would mean that maybe somewhere down the line we're going to get a rematch with them. Obviously because he's pinned the champion. But then again, I don't know, because rematch clauses are such a weird thing in the company now. They say they don't do them anymore, but then we kind of get them anyway. It's like, I don't know, whatever. But again, R-Truth is back. Now, I literally just made a video like a little bit ago talking about how I was absolutely disgusted with WWE letting him go earlier last week. And I know they hurt us, because obviously this is what happened. And in R-Truth, actually, I'm going to put it up on the screen here. R-Truth actually thanked the fans, because it was us, and I'm more than sure that locker room support that brought this man back. Now, obviously, yes, this was Money in the Bank. I don't want to take too much away from the tag match. It was a good match, whatever. But the moment of R-Truth coming back, standing in that ring and listening to the ovation that he got, talk about a beautiful and happy ending. So it is reported that he is back. It looks like he's going to have one more run with the company, so this will probably be his final run. I believe it's a 3-year deal, so we're going to have R-Truth for a little bit longer. I'm just happy that he finally got like some good dues. I mean, the guy's been with the company for almost like 2 decades. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong than that. He probably has been more than 2 decades. But again, he's been a very loyal member of the WWE family. The way they let him go was absolutely disgusting, but I'm happy to see this got rectified in a way. I'm very, very happy. Very, very happy. Thank you, WWE, for listening to us. Thank you, R-Truth, for coming back. We're so happy to see you back. So now, that's the end of the show. That's it. It's crazy. It's crazy. We're going to see some crazy fallouts definitely come on Monday and on SmackDown on Friday. Both Money in the Bank winners are on separate shows. So we got Miss Money in the Bank on SmackDown, Mr. Money in the Bank on Raw. I can't wait to see where the storylines go with this. Because obviously both of these superstars are very heavily involved. A lot of rivalries right now. Obviously you got Naomi, obviously with Jade, and obviously her issues with Bianca now. And I don't know how that's going to lead into things. So we're going to wait and see on that one, because obviously Tiffany is the current champion. But then we also have Seth Rollins, obviously trying to take things over with his own faction, and we're going to see how that goes. But again, we also do have the World Heavyweight Championship match with Jey Uso and Gunther on Monday Night Raw, so we're going to see how that goes. I'm going to try to get a couple more videos out to you guys throughout the week, you know, talking about not just the current state of certain things with wrestling, but also like my own personal thoughts. But yeah, no, this has been my breakdown as far as Money in the Bank right now. I kind of can't wait to see what's coming up. Personally, me, I'm not going to lie to you. I've been thinking for a long time that we probably should start thinking about the idea of doing away with the Money in the Bank. I'll have a video about that in a little bit too. But as far as right now, both have very good storylines that could be worked with. So we'll see where we go from here. But other than that, I have been Loboberry Crunch. Thank you guys for listening and chatting with me. Give me your thoughts on everything. Check them out in the comments below. Make sure to follow all the socials, obviously, for the channel. Support us. And we will see you next time.